Hey everyone, Mr. Gustin back in the physics classroom. Here is what I'm going to show you the Forces in Motion lab part 2, kind of breakdown, just so we're all clear on how to run the lab and the data we need to collect. So when you open the simulation up, you'll have the option of changing the mass of the hover puck or changing the strength of the force of pull on that hover puck. So in part 1, we're going to be holding our mass constant and changing the force and recording acceleration data. And in part 2, we're going to hold our force constant and change the mass and collect acceleration data. Both of those cases, the simulation is not so important. Basically, just changing these little things is important. So again, part 1, we're holding mass constant. So I'm going to set my mass to 2.5 kilograms or 2,500 grams and change my force. Let's see if I can change my force over here. Let's change it up to 4.8. I would record that in my data table. So for trial 1, I have a 4.8 Newton force. Then I'm going to run the simulation. So I'm going to hit start, and nothing really happens in the simulation except you see it pull. That's fine. What's most important is scrolling down to the velocity and time graph, because you need to find acceleration. And you all are smart enough to know how to find acceleration from a velocity and time graph. You just find the slope. Unfortunately, this graph is not interactive. It's pretty boring. So I need to go ahead and take the data points, two data points from this graph and find the slope of this line. It doesn't matter which data points I choose, as long as you can get a pretty accurate read on them. So for example, let's find, pretty simple. I just go find 2 points that look pretty easy to read. That kind of, oh, here's one. This one crosses at 2 crosshairs on my grid. It is at a time of 1.3 seconds, and it looks like it is at 0.2 meters per second. That's the first point. That's not my acceleration. It's not. It's a point. I'm looking for the slope. I'm going to go find a second point somewhere that crosses one of these crosshairs in the grid. There's one right there. Bam. I can go ahead and say now this is 2 seconds. Sorry, it's 2 seconds, and it's somewhere around 1.57 meters per second, around there. Now, again, that's not my acceleration. The slope between the two, right? We would say it's like velocity 2 minus velocity 1 over time 2 minus time 1. That gives me acceleration. That goes in my data table along with 2.5 kilograms. That's one line of data. You're going to do that between 5 and 8 times to make sure you fill your data table up. Good luck. See ya.